Welcome to our Trade to Developer podcast. My name is Suzanne Elsey.
My name is Craig Shields, and we've often been asked to share how we've transitioned from trade to developer. We're now ready to reveal all.
We're both busy. We have to fit a lot into our day. We get pulled in all sorts of directions. There's always reactive stuff that comes through on email, phone calls, text messages, WhatsApp, you name it. There's stuff coming at us at every angle. So we have to really block out time so that we're productive and working on the right things for the business, just so that we always make sure we're moving it forward. So Craig's got his own ways of doing things and I've got my own ways of doing things. My diary used to look really messy. I'd jump about from different tasks and always literally on the WhatsApp and the emails as soon as they come in. And what I've done using Toggle to track what I was spending my time on. And a lot of that was jumping from one thing to another, which when you think about it, if you keep doing that, you spend a load of time going back over the same thing to get back into it again. So what I've been now doing is able to sort of time block to get certain larger tasks done at certain times during the day and try and allocate an afternoon for, say, bookkeeping tasks to do with running through things for the bookkeeper. So not actually doing the bookkeeping, but just answering questions they might have or making sure that things are allocated to the right project. And basically just trying to block out the same types of task on the same day. But Craig has his own ways of doing things too.
Yeah, I've got my own way. Yeah, well, obviously being on the tools and that before, I was always up early and doing networking. I go to B&I early, so getting up early for me is not an issue. So, and then I always find that, and I've got children as well. So before they wake up, you've always got that like spot in the middle of the morning. They call it. Some people say at the 5 a.m. club, but I get up about between 5 and 6 and actually try and get some productive stuff done between there and 8 o'clock when people start. So I generally, in the mornings, I get up and I do my personal stuff, my walking or my gym, my habits, and then I would check my my list of what I need to do for that day. I get them bits done in the morning, but then from 8 o'clock, a PA comes into the office and we have a quick sign in. So from between 8 and half 8, we'll just quickly go over what needs to be done and I set her up for the day. And then between that time and 12, I get a good three and a half hours of solid working and my phone's on Do Not Disturb.
It's taken us 7 years to make the transition from working with clients through to developing our own portfolio, and we can speed that up for you. If any of this resonates, please do register now and we can help you transition yourself from trade to developer in just 12 months.
I've got 2 SIMs in my phone, one as a work one as a personal one, and I turn the work one off and have it diverted to my PA between them times. So literally, you saying about getting pulled from pillar to post, then 3 hours in the day are actually going straight to my PA, and then at 12 o'clock I will turn the phone back on and check my messages, have some lunch, check in with my PA, and then answer back with the ones I've missed. And again at 1 o'clock that will go off, and as I do the same till 4 o'clock, work again solid. That's either working at the desk, mainly in the mornings is working at the desk, and then in the afternoons is mainly meetings on Zoom or going to site or anything else. But then I have set days that I go to site as well. So I have 2 days set in the office and a few days out. But my day's normally structured like that. And then at 4 o'clock, I do the same thing. I flick the phone on again, quickly check it. So basically anyone that needs to get hold of me, I can speak to them in the morning, I can speak to them at lunchtime, and I can speak to them in the afternoon. There's 3 points of the day that I'm available and I can reply back. And a lot of it's done on WhatsApp now anyway, on voice notes. So a lot of it I can message back. And if it's really important, it will go to my PA, and then my PA will message me on my personal SIM saying to me, urgent, answer now. And then I can look at that within that 3 hours. That generally doesn't happen a lot. Once every 2 weeks that happens. So now I can actually get time for the 3 hours if I'm either at the office getting stuff done, or if I'm on site with my project managers, my phone is off and I can walk around with them properly, because amount of site meetings you go in and as everyone's phone runs off and then someone walks off, then you're in the middle of catching up. Oh, what was said there? Well, it didn't get caught up. So just focusing on what I'm doing is a big part of the day. When I wasn't doing that, I've only been doing that I've structured my day recently up to like that, which is working really well. But actually structuring my phone, I've had for a little while where it goes off and comes back on. Then on a Friday, work phone goes off and it's family time, you know. So, and at 6 o'clock, family time, 6 o'clock goes off. People can get hold of me if it's an emergency, but other than that, it's not being available too much. And structuring, so the phone is very important because the phone is the biggest distraction there. So having the two SIMs, and I think, I don't know, people used to carry around, I've got a work phone, I've got a personal phone, but obviously now the smartphones you can have two SIMs in, or you can have two SIMs being a physical SIM or an eSIM. You can even have two SIMs and another SIM. You can have 3 SIMs in if you really want. But I have the two, and I have work and personal, and they switch on and off. It works really well. And obviously with WhatsApp, it's just no notifications because it's controlling what's coming in. And then I think a biggest thing for me when I was on the tools and then started all of a sudden dealing with emails all the time, you feel like emails are really, really important and they need to be dealt with straight away, but they don't. Like someone said to me before, if someone posts you a letter, you don't write a letter and post straight back. And so with an email, you got to take your time with it, because if they really wanted you, they'd call you. And if it was really urgent, they would text you or call you. But if they're emailing you, it's not an instant message back. And I think a lot of us reply to emails quickly, and I get annoyed when other professions would go, I only get an email from, but at the end of the day, working day, but they set their times out well. It's quite interesting. And another guy that we know said about, he's worked in offices before and seen that the boss is in a glass room, and he thought he was just big ego, but actually it's him getting his space within the business of structuring his day, isn't it? So I think as a trade, it's taken a lot of mindset to realise that bloke in the glass blocks is doing it for a reason, and that we can actually do it ourselves. And if you are on the tools and you're still working on the tools, you can still turn your phone off between them times, have an extra half an hour at lunch and answer the emails. And if you've got a VA, message them in the morning, message them in the afternoon, and get them to do your emails for you. You know, there's so many different ways of doing it. And but yeah, for me in the morning, getting my personal stuff done in the morning and setting up my days, my tasks, but then in the actual day itself, structuring the hours, it is a bit regimental, but it works. And actually getting 3 hours of solid work done at the desk is a lot to get done when you're running a limited company, you know. So thank you all for listening, and thank you all for your support, and please subscribe to the upcoming podcasts.
Just remember the famous quote from Henry Ford: if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got.